ASX-listed water treatment provider Fluence has been awarded a $261 million contract to supply the Ivory Coast government, yes, in Africa, with a 150,000 cubic metre per day surface water treatment plant. Well, for more on what this means for investors, Fluence CEO Henry Charrabé is joining me at the desk. Henry, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, this is actually a very big deal for Fluence, because what's the market cap?
About 200 million Aussie right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is a big story. Tell me, what should investors think? How should investors see it?
Well, I think this is one of the great examples, as Fluence has many shots on goal. We focus globally on decentralized smart products and water and wastewater, but yet have the expertise to do a deal like this in Ivory Coast, where we're going to treat 150,000 cubic meters of fresh water from a lagoon into the water treatment system of Ivory Coast, for the largest city of Abidjan, getting water for up to 1.5 million people.
Okay, how secure is this deal? I mean, how far have you got? What backing have you got? All that.
So we got to financial close, to commercial signing last week. We're working on a financial close.
Yeah, the shares jumped, didn't they, when you announced it?
They did,
yeah.
and of course we're working on the financial close now, which is very nice because it's backed by the Export Credit Institution of Israel, ASHRA, to make sure that there's no political risk and no collection risk for us to work in Ivory Coast, which is one of the greatest countries to work in at Western Africa.
So, I mean, for those that don't know West Africa, how would you rate Ivory Coast in terms of political risk?
I would rate it very low. We have had very good experiences there. They have very good rapport and financial standing with the IMF. Their credit rating is pretty strong. And so the Israeli Credit Expert Institute, ASHRA, is giving us support for this deal. So this, again, is another sentiment of how lucky we are to get this deal and working through it. Again,
for people who don't know Fluence, it's ASX listed, but that is the history of what two companies combining, one of which was Israeli, which ended up listing here, as some of these Israeli stocks have done, yeah?
Correct. So in July 2017, the ASX-listed company MFC and the company that I was running called RWL Water, which was owned by Ambassador Ronald Lauder, merged and became Fluence.
As in Estee Lauder?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And so we merged the two entities, and we're now, I think, the #1 company globally focused on the decentralized water and wastewater treatment market.
Right. So where should investors see growth? I mean, obviously you've got this big lump of a thing, and presumably you're employing people locally, are you?
Yes, also locally, of course.
Okay, so in terms of growth going forward, you've got this project. Where does the revenue growth come from?
So the biggest growth, I think, is going to come from our smart product solutions. We have decentralized smart package systems, both for wastewater treatment, for rural wastewater sewage, and our NeoBox for seawater desalination. And then the second area where we see tremendous growth is where we offer project finance to our customers. So recurring revenue over years, where the customer pays per cubic meter of treated water, like water as a service, rather than a large upfront payment in the decentralized distributed space.
Where do you see your most exciting markets?
So the biggest growth market for us is probably in the wastewater space in China, based on the Chinese central government's demanded 13th five-year plan that intends to increase rural wastewater from 10% currently to 70%.
Yes.
That's a huge opportunity for us. Desalination is an opportunity anywhere in any coastal area around the world.
And your track record, once again, you've got this huge deal. What's your track record of being able to build something of this size?
So we've built other large plants. The largest to date is for an oil and gas company in Colombia. We've built large plants in Cyprus, 50,000 cubic meter for desalination. So we know how to do...
But not here in Australia, even though you're ASX listed. Why is that?
The opportunity in Australia hasn't presented itself yet, in the same way it's presented itself outside of Australia.
What, because the returns are better?
No, because so Australia is a very sophisticated market, and for us to invest marketing dollars, we obviously want to have a fast return on our investment for our shareholders, and Australia is so much more advanced and enhanced in that the decentralized approach hasn't really arrived here yet.
All right, and third quarter, what happens in the third quarter this year?
Well, in the third quarter, we hopefully get to financial close, and therefore start the project with notice to proceed.
Yeah, great. Come back and talk to me in the third quarter. I'd really enjoy that.
I'd love to.
Thank you very much, Henry Charrabé.
Thank you.